Hello and welcome back to the Doctor's Garage here on YouTube, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about rust proofing and the fact that I Lanoguarded my Defender about 1 year ago, and many of you have asked since then, has it been worth it? What's happened since I've done it? Has the rust come back and how long has it lasted? So in this video today I'm hoping to be able to cover a bit more about the process of doing it, but also show you the underneath of my Defender 90, which I'm sat in at the moment, and just show you kind of what things look like. I haven't done anything to it since I last Lanoguarded it. It's been out in all weathers, so it'll be a good chance to see how well has it lasted. Has it done what it's meant to do, and does it still look as good as when I first did it? Also, whilst I remember 90% of you that watch my videos don't subscribe to the channel, and if you don't subscribe, please click subscribe, the button right below here in this video. It really helps me out, build a following, allows me to do more videos like this on my Defender, on my Discovery, on whatever else that I have in my garage. So please click subscribe, like this video, and let me know what you think in the comments below. But for now, let's get going with the rest of the video. As I mentioned, about a year ago, I did some rust proofing treatment on the underneath of my Defender. For those that have Defenders will know, it's a really common problem with Defenders. It's almost part of owning a Defender is thinking about how are you going to under seal it, how are you going to protect it from rust. It's a massive concern because they rust really badly, and now with the last being made 2016, they're getting on a bit. So even the newest Defender, the newest old version Defender, is still got a few years under its belt. So pretty much everyone with a Defender will want to know a bit more about rust proofing, what's involved, what works, what's worth doing. Do you go for the full professional steam clean wax oil? Like, you can go to really big lengths to it and quite a lot of cost with it, or you can do something like I did, which was Lanoguard it. And Lanoguard is a product that I came across whilst I was looking for the same thing for my Defender. It is actually made of sheep wool wax, I believe. So it's like the oil off sheep, and as a result, it doesn't smell bad, but it smells a bit weird. And when you're applying it, and after you've finished applying it, whatever you're wearing, your skin, your face, your hands, do smell a bit sheepy, which is a bit odd. And I would avoid trying to reduce the amount of stuff you get on you. Even though it's not that toxic as such compared to some of the other products, it's still one that does smell a bit weird. So I did that about a year ago, and I bought the 5-litre kit, I believe it was, and I'll put the link to the item in the description below. But when I bought that kit, I kind of bought everything. So I got the actual product in a big tub that you basically warmed up and then could spray out, and then also some of the grease as well, which was more for smaller areas. I did all inside the back of my cross member as well, because that's an area that really rusts and delaminates across the bottom. The cross member on this Defender is its original one from 2006, so it's definitely getting on a bit time-wise, and so I wanted to kind of do everything I possibly could. So with the kit, you get the 5-litre big spray tub, you get something called a 360 wand, I think that's what they call it, and that's really useful. So it's basically a nozzle attachment, and on the end of it, it kind of sprays out in every direction, and so that's brilliant for just weaving into the chassis, because with the way the Defender chassis are, it's hard to get to every bit of it, particularly inside out. So often you'll have to go right into the front bit, for example, right near the front of the car, and just weave the 361 into one of the holes, and then you can spray, cover the whole inside with this stuff. And that definitely felt like I could get as much as I could out of doing it. Now, before I did it, as part of like a prep, what I did was just jet wash it really well. So I wanted it to be a hot day, and it was a few hot days coming up afterwards, and basically got a jet washer, power hoser thing with the small nozzle, put it in the chassis at every single hole I could find, and just gave it a good couple of minutes at each hole. And I was surprised to see how much mud came out of that. So when I first started doing that, in some of the holes, it was literally just pouring mud out for a good minute or so, because there's been so much mud that's been stuck in the chassis from off-roading this Defender's done before. So that was something I did, and that felt like at least I cleaned it as well as I could. Of course, you can always do something more, like a steam clean, but that wasn't something I was up for doing. I think it was just availability where I live, but also cost that comes into it. I want to try something I could do at home myself. I did that, gave the Lanoguard treatment, and it's really good because you spray it on. It's kind of waxy, quite sticky when you first put it on. Really easy to apply. Once you warm it up, you can just spray it all over the underneath of the Defender. And the great thing with it is as well is you can put it on plastics, on wires, on everything. It doesn't really matter. So you can just cover the whole lot basically in this stuff. And I had some overalls on when I did it, still covered my whole face and hair in it, which was pretty disgusting for about a week. But then, you know what, it actually went from being very clear and kind of sticky, and it actually goes quite dark. It goes black actually, which I really liked, because whenever you catch a glimpse of a Defender and you're a little bit low down, you can see under it, you see this kind of like surface rust look. Lanoguard stops that, because you just get a nice black finish underneath your Defender too, without having to paint it with a paintbrush in all these areas. You can just spray it, which makes way more sense and is way easier to do. So I did that, and I'm probably thinking of doing it again very soon. It's getting towards, well, I suppose the middle to end of summer now, and before the winter comes, I'm probably going to do another treatment of whatever I choose. But I think for now, what's important in this video is to see how effective was Lanoguard. Has it stop the rust, and what does it look like 1 year on when we do nothing to it? And that will determine whether I end up doing another Lanoguard treatment, or maybe seek a different type of treatment just to protect the chassis of my Defender as much as possible. This is a vehicle I want to keep for a long time, and so I really want to look after it as best I can. So let's go and check out the underneath and see how good that treatment of Lanoguard was a year ago. So here we are with my Defender, and let's start actually by taking a look under the front part of the vehicle. So this is what we're looking like at the moment. So originally this was just covered in surface rust, and you can still see it's pretty good there in the most part. I think some of these elements here where it's probably not been as effective are actually probably areas I didn't spray it on that well, if I'm really honest with you. You can see there the Fox shocks up in there, and there are live springs I've got on this vehicle. You can see also the steering components I put on quite recently that you guys might have seen with the new drop arm, and sumo bars as well through there. But yeah, overall looking through there, that's pretty black still, and if I touch it, it's still quite greasy. So that's actually worked quite well there from a front point of view. There's a bit of surface rust you can see, but nothing too significant on that part. As always, the ORE stuff just doesn't change year on year. Even with the scratches and dings that you get to it, it literally just stays like this. I get no bubbling or anything with this. Great bits of gear ORE, as is the bumper on this. Let's go and have a look round the side through here and take a look. So underneath, let me have a look. So this is what we're looking like under here. So you can be the judge of whether you think that is a good job or not. This was completely coated in Lanoguard through here, and you can see at the bottom, probably where it's getting a little bit more road spray, it has started to kind of go a little bit there. But for the most part, this was not black before, whereas it is now. So it definitely has stayed on in those areas where I put it. This is moving through to the back, so again, quite a bit of surface corrosion there. Underneath as well, exhaust looks pretty battered generally on this Defender. Probably something I need to do. Underneath there, it's not too bad. I don't think I probably did the exhaust pipe when I did it, but the rest of the chassis I did. So this is what I was talking about as well with these holes through here. This is where you want to be able to get your little wand in and cover it inside out to get a good job. So let's move on finally to the rear of the Defender, where it really matters, which is where the rear cross member is, because this is a part that really does rot. Now, when I first got my Defender, I actually did some treatment on the cross member myself, and I actually bought a whole lot of gear from Buzzweld. I literally got like a flat disc on an angle grinder, got this right down to the bare metal and recoated it, and that was probably about 3 years ago now. And you can see it's starting to go through there. It's starting to look bad again, and it's probably time to think about recoating this, because I think a sign on a Defender that looks old is when this whole thing goes rusty, which they do even on like a 2016 one. You see these and they're covered in rust, but that's just surface rust. It's more cosmetic than anything else. There's a few dings here as well, some towing trailers and stuff where the kind of what do you call it, the towing bit on the trailer smashes into the Defender there. So let's have a look underneath here, because this is where it kind of matters. So again, it's not too bad on here. I want to look into the cross member if I can from the other side. So if we come round, there's a bit you can probably see through here, up into there. So that's inside the cross member. That's not too bad, to be fair. You can see it's delaminated a bit at the bottom, but that was like that before. This I completely painted in that kind of that grease that Lanoguard provide, and actually that looks like that stayed pretty well. It's still pretty black and disgusting where I painted all that stuff. And if we look from this side and take a look through here, bit more surface corrosion on this end, I'd say, than it was at the front. Probably again a bit more surface rust that I'm seeing through here. So that is one thing to note. But overall, I don't think the cross member actually looks as bad as I thought it would, and that's probably because I painted that grease on from Lanoguard. So let's have a look through here. Yeah, again, nothing too bad, to be honest. Kind of looks similar to when I did it. So to me, that isn't looking too bad. So I guess that's for you guys to be the judge, really. What do you think that looks like after a year? Is that good or is that not so good? For me, I don't think it's too bad, considering I've done nothing to it apart from one spray treatment throughout the Defender, and I think, to be honest, it probably will mean that I will end up doing it again. So overall, for me, Lanoguard has been quite good. You can apply it at home yourself. Super easy to apply. It comes with a 360 wand. But I'd be really interested to know what you guys think and what you guys do for your Defender. What do you go for? Wax oil? Do you go for Lanoguard yourself? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.